Untold truths about the modern workplace. Just going to look at a few tweets right now just to give a little bit of insight on what the internet and Gen Z is thinking about how this crap is going in 2026, bruh. It's bad out here, it's bad, but it's good at the same time. You know, it's like yin and yang. It's yin and yang. There's some polarity in there. But anyways, enough BS. First one's a quote tweet. Guys, real talk. Why are salaries confidential? And quote tweet says, HR doesn't want you to realize your coworker makes almost twice as much as you do for the same position. Facts. Honestly, this is why I left my first job. I remember it like it was tomorrow, bro. My first job out of college, and I'm putting some work in, and I kind of went the route where I just kind of took the first job that would hire me. And, looking back at it, I think that I made the right decision, but I definitely could have went another path. But basically, I put about a year and a half into that position. After fighting my ass off, I got a promotion. And then next thing you know, they hire another guy. They hire another data analyst. He was around my age, and he actually got his degree in like marine biology or something like that, like something completely off topic. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And, he did have his master's degree, but he got his master's degree in some shit that was completely unrelated to the field that we were doing. So long story short, we just get to shooting the shit one day, and then like the topic of salaries comes up, and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm making 55K. Mind you, I know that's a very low salary, but back then I was only making about like 48K, something like that. I think I may have been at like 50. I may have been at 50. Since then, I've over doubled that. Thank goodness. But back then, I was making about like 48K, and he told me he was making 55K. I was just like, what? That just completely ruined my whole day. I was totally the meme. The meme where it's like a crying face, but it has a happy face on the outside. That's what I was. Like, I was the embodiment of that, bro. Like, seriously, I was fucking seething on the inside, but I was keeping it together. So, anyways, long story short, I brought that up to my manager, and they didn't give me a promotion. I applied to like 40 jobs that next day. Like, I was literally doing like ranked applying, and I had a new job the next day. So, and there's another story. I may get into it more later, but let's just say I know somebody who may be in the data department, friend, and they may have leaked a lot of people's salaries, and you'd just be surprised. I want to keep it vague. This is still new. But salary is really a big thing. So anyways, second thing from the GOAT, Simon Ngari. We love Simon Ngari on this channel. He says, the culture of today's workplace. Overtime is seen as diligence. No updates after interviews. I don't know if I agree with that one. Micromanagement of employees. It depends on the company culture for that one. I mean, I've been at some jobs where like the boss doesn't give a shit. I've had other jobs where they do the whole awkward Teams bubble thing where they're just like, oh, why is your Teams bubble yellow? Like, what are you doing? Are you, not doing anything? Usually that's like remote work where that happens. But, and I've had at that same job them implement a software called Zscaler. And Zscaler, like, literally takes control of your computer to the kernel level. And it's fucking insane, dude. Zscaler, it is extremely intrusive. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But that's definitely micromanagement. But next up, expecting employees to respond to work matters outside working hours. Depends on the job. If you're in sales, then that makes perfect sense in my opinion. Not including salary information and job postings. That's true, but also usually whenever you do your initial screening, like whenever you do your screening, saying, what are your skills, whenever you're not even talking to your boss or the person above or below your boss, you're talking to like the HR person. That's whenever they ask you about your salary expectations there. So, yeah, I don't really agree with that one. Viewing job hopping as a red flag. I'm a very, very big job hopper, but it definitely depends on your opportunity whenever you feel like you're not learning anymore. And the GOAT, Simon and Gary, he says it should be respecting time and managing it properly. Oh, they're not doing that shit. Simon, they're not doing that shit, Simon. Providing feedback after interviews, even if the candidate is unsuccessful. I mean, why would they waste their time doing that? Like, if you're interviewing 1,000 people, do you really think they're going to take the time to like sit there and hold your hand and tell you why you didn't get the job? No, they're just not even going to reply. It's not right, but it's just reality. Trusting employees to do their jobs. If you give people an inch, they take a mile. There's some overachievers out there, but I'm definitely in the camp where if I can have liberties, if there are liberties to be taken, I'm going to take liberties. And, I grind whenever I need it, whenever it really matters, but I'll definitely take some liberties. Clear boundaries, work during work hours, and go home when the workday ends. I don't know about anybody else, but I have that for myself. I am not staying over unless I really need to. And lastly, respecting the fact that people work to earn an income. Do not waste candidates' time. Somebody says, a tweet from somebody named Rob Henderson, they say changing jobs is a significant cause of stress, creating on average about 1/3 as much stress as the death of a spouse. Jesus. Half as much as divorce. Jeez. And the same amount as the death of a close friend. And 50% more than quitting smoking. Okay. That is just like, whenever I'm going to ask him for the source on this, it's going to be like I made it the fuck up. I mean, it's definitely stressful for sure. I mean, whenever I quit my first 2 of 3 jobs, like, it was tough. It was tough. Like, I'll say it right now. I'm man enough to say it. I fucking cried both times just because I love my team, You kind of want to embrace that dream, My dad had it to where he worked maybe 1 or 2 jobs out of college, and then once he hit it was either his second or third job, he was there for over 30 years. And you kind of want that, but that's just not reality anymore, dude. I think it's because of the capitalistic society. Like, you're not really going to give somebody a raise if they're not just begging for it. And even if they are, like, you're going to hire somebody who's fresh out of college, like thousands of them, tens of thousands of them graduate 2 times a year. And yeah, you're going to have them doing the job. You got to super just become irreplaceable to warrant a significant salary increase. That's just what it is nowadays. Like, it's not about, goodwill or anything. It's about how can this person make the company profitable. And if you're somebody who can drive that, then you're going to be rewarded. If not, then you're going to be replaced. All right, next point. 45% of employers post fake listings per Forbes. I mean, if you didn't realize this by now, you're lost. Yeah, ghost postings or ghost positions, that's definitely a thing. A lot of it comes from legal shit, like companies needing to post the job online before they just fill it internally. Like, they already have a candidate on mind, but you have to post it. I don't know what the law is exactly on that, and I don't feel like looking it up, but that's definitely one reason why. Another reason why is because it kind of makes your company look good, So, in my experience, the hack is reaching out to recruiters through LinkedIn. They're low-key clutch. That's how I got my second and third job. It was actually somebody who reached out to me. I put my LinkedIn profile. I didn't change my profile picture. That is just so cringe. Never change your profile picture to open to work. That's just so thirsty. But I did change my internal settings to where nobody can see it except for recruiters, where it says, I may be open to work. And people reached out to me. They were good salaries. I had a recruiter that actually gave me made me ask for more money than I originally, thought I could get. And I fucking got that shit. And looking back on it, I'm just sheesh. I wish I could have asked for more than that. But Yeah, fake listings are definitely a thing. I don't think it's going to be done anytime soon. Like, side note, in 2026, damn near half of the internet is fake. Like, if you go on Twitter, like, if I look at these tweets, like, half of these replies are just, like, random OnlyFans girls in a fucking corporate tweet. Like, I don't know. Next point. Funny how in some companies, from the inside, everyone is trying to get out, and from the outside, everyone is trying to get in. I just thought that was funny to include. I mean, this is totally true. There's a weird polarity at work here. When you first get hired, that's oftentimes the worst time to be working. Only second to the feeling after you get promoted. It's just so weird. It's like such a yin and yang. It's almost like whenever you're kind of frustrated with the job and you kind of stop fully caring and trying, at least in my experience, that's whenever shit goes the easiest for me. Like, shit's just like, I'm gonna show up, don't really give a fuck, I'm looking for other jobs, like, you could take it or leave it. And then, on the other hand, whenever you finally get a promotion, and, like, those expectations are set, because, oh, dude, we just gave you extra 20K, like, dude, you better do this shit. That's, like, the most stressful time at work, because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just the pressure to perform after all that. Is it really justified? Because I definitely think it's a thing where if you're asking for more money, a lot of times companies will low-key give you the money that you want, but then secretly scout for somebody who can do your position for less money. I feel like that's definitely a thing. So it's definitely a fucking balancing game. And that's why I find this shit so interesting, man. That's why I wanted to start this channel. I really just like yapping, and hopefully there's people out there who like listening. But anyways, I'm going to keep posting no matter what, even if I'm talking to myself. How's that for the fourth wall? All right, next up. Salary is not everything. People also resign from jobs when they don't feel valued and respected. Salary is definitely the top reason to take a job, in my opinion. Like, looking at it realistically, dude, the only thing making a high salary not worth it is just extremely bad hours. Like, especially as a young guy, like, I'm in my 20s still, and, I have the energy right now, and it's just like, dude, if not now, then when? Like, I'm not going to choose comfortability over generating revenue for myself and then investing that, maybe personal side business, whatever, The only thing that's really cutting into that is if I have to work, like 80 plus hours a week. Now that's just fucking insane. I'm not doing that. 3 in 5 Gen Z workers to embrace blue collar work in 2026 per Forbes. This is definitely a hot take. I'm not sure where this data is from. Well, I guess it's from Forbes, but maybe it's just the circles I'm in. I know a lot of guys, that there's kind of a return to traditionalism, it seems like, in my generation, but I definitely am not digging the blue collar work, bro. Like, I am not doing that shit. I did that shit one time in my life at UPS. They paid for half of my college, which was awesome, but I don't want to ever go into there, bro. And yes, I did walk out of that job too. So I definitely have a history of quitting, I've noticed through talking right now. 40% of Gen Zers only want promotions if they don't involve becoming a manager, per Quartz. Becoming a manager is definitely ass, dude. Like, I did IT project coordination work for my last job, and it's just so fucking terrible babysitting grown men, dude. Like, you tell somebody to do something and then they don't do it, and it's just like, that internal battle of, okay, is it the way I said it? Like, do I just go full tyrant and get on his ass? Do I play the nice guy? Maybe he has other shit going. Like, I've never had direct reports, but, IT project coordination, it's kind of the worst of both worlds. Like, you're not truly a manager, but you also have to manage people. I don't wish that on my worst enemy either, dude. It's definitely ass. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this video, and see you guys next time.